So Donald Trump announced that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are going to co-chair the Department of Government Efficiency. And MAGA is super excited to see where this goes. The only problem with it is the Department of Government Efficiency doesn't exist. It's something that Donald Trump made up out of thin air. And the president-elect does not have the power to create new departments, neither does the president himself. This is something that would have to go through Congress and be voted on in order to be created, but nope, in Donald Trump's world, he can just create this out of thin air, say, tag your it to two buffoons, and MAGA is super excited and can't wait to see where it goes. Well, I'm interested to see where it goes too. I'm interested to see exactly what these two will do when they get in. They say they're going to be cutting costs and cutting wasteful spending. And MAGA's flexing about this. Oh, I can't wait till they cut all this stuff out. Well, you got to stop and think. How many of you out there are taking care of your elderly parents or grandparents? How many of you's mamas and papas depends on their health care and depends on their disability and depends on their Social Security? Well, I guess if Elon and Vivek decides that was wasteful, you're just up shit creek. You see, they never think these things through. They are so dissatisfied with the government that they're willing to turn it over to people with no experience in it whatsoever. They've got a Fox News host as a Secretary of Defense. Can you imagine if Joe Biden had appointed Rachel Maddow that position or someone for Morning Joe? Can you imagine the outrage that they would be? But they're all for burning it down to the point that they will turn it over to anyone and everyone and create departments out of thin air. Just make it up. Hell yeah, just put them in there, buddy. That's awesome. Not realizing just how this could come back and bite them right straight in the ass. And the most annoying part of it all is knowing that the only way it will ever get through to them is if it bites them in the ass. But even then, they're going to buy into the bullshit that, well, the Democrats did this to you. If Elon and Vivek gets into whatever fantasy department this is and takes away everything MAGA had, if they reached and took the last French fry off their plate and the last drink of water they had away and just flipped them a bird, if they were to do that, I guarantee you MAGA would find a way to go, Democrats done this to me. Elon was trying to help. Vivek was trying to help us cut that wasteful spending, and Chuck Schumer took my French fries. That is the level of stupidity that we're up against. And there's people that says, hey, you guys on the left need to tone it down now. You need to quit saying that they're for dictatorships. Well, they're letting a guy create a fake department out of thin air and put two buffoons in charge of it and they ain't saying anything. They're letting him hand positions of power over to a Fox News host. So you can't tell me they care about democracy. You can't tell me they care about the way things are supposed to work or the system. If they would just let these two guys just come in and start doing this, and what the hell are they doing? We don't know exactly. We just know it sounds good. We just know they're going to go after them Democrats. We just know they're going to go after government spending. Not realizing that they depend on a lot of government spending, whether they realize it or not. What's going to happen when a natural disaster hits your part of the world and Elon and Vivek says, nah, you don't need no help? What's going to happen then? There is so many people that's going to be affected by this clown show, and we sat here and we tried to warn them every step of the way. We sat here and we brought receipt after receipt. We put the evidence in front of them. We put them telling them they were going to do it to them in front of them. And they said we were being hyperbolic. They said that we were just getting all worked up over nothing, and that if we just relax, everything would be okay. And the comments I'm seeing is off the charts. I can't wait to see where they take this. Well, when you get a letter in the mail that Mamo no longer has health insurance and you're going to have to pay those bills yourself. I mean, Elon did say that we was going to have to endure some tough times whether we liked it or not. That kind of went over y'all's head, though. Kind of missed that one. There's people, I can't wait to see what RFK Jr. does with our health. Yeah, the guy that found a dead cub on the side of the road, took it home, decided he didn't want it, and then decided it would be a good idea to take that to Central Park and plan it to look like a bike hit it. I don't trust them doctors, man. I don't trust them scientists. But I trust this guy that did that with a cub. I trust this guy that thinks he's got a worm in his brain. It's going to be a painful couple of years. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, and I'm not trying to bring down the room. It's going to be a painful couple of years while we're on a movie that features the Joker and there's no Batman. It's going to be a painful couple of years, and a lot of innocent people are going to be affected by this clown show. And the very people who are cheering on this clown show and saying, yeah, man, drain the swamp, drain that swamp, get it out of there, are going to drain their own pocketbooks, are going to drain their daughter's future, are going to drain their parents and their own health care. They're going to drain their pensions. They're going to drain everything they ever worked for because they trusted this imaginary department that Trump created. And in the end, they'll be more mad at me for pointing it out than they will be for Trump, Vivek, Elon, and everyone else that duped them. That's the world we live in. It sucks. It sucks that we're here. We shouldn't be here. We should be better. Everything should be better. We should live in a world where everyone wants everyone to have a fair shake. We should live in a world where everyone doesn't want to give handouts, but wants everyone to have a fair hand to play. We should live in a world where we just live and let live. Republicans used to be about the government staying out of everyone's lives, but now they're okay with turning it over to people with no experience. They're okay with creating imaginary departments. They're okay with handing it over to a Fox News host. And they're okay with the government getting in every aspect of everyone's lives with whom they disagree. And they never stop and think there could come the moment that Elon Musk looks over at you, Vivek, Trump, the whole little clown show, goes, yeah, I don't really think this person needs to breathe either. And then it's going to be like, oh, what did we do? What did we do? Well, you got so caught up in the clown show and so caught up in the WWE Jerry Springer rhetoric and so blinded by your own rage that you couldn't see the forest for the trees. And you wonder why nobody wants to be around you at Thanksgiving. It's because we tried to tell you. See, the hardest part is when you try to tell someone and then it blows up in their face. That's always been hard for me. I'll be honest with you. It's always been hard for me when I've seen someone walk right straight into a punch and they didn't put their guard up or didn't duck or dodge. I always make my boxing analogies, but go watch The Thrill of Manila. I think it's the greatest fighter of all time, the greatest fight of all time, Ali Frazier 3. And watch what Ali does to Frazier in that. He just dangles his jab in front of his face. Like, they don't even throw it, just dangles it. And every time he dangles it, Joe swats it. And every time Joe swats it, Ali tags him. Beats the hell out of him for 14 rounds. I mean, Frazier got some good rounds in there in the middle, but Ali just beat him half to death. The trainer later said, Joe Frazier's trainer, Eddie Futch, said, I tried to tell him to quit swatting that jab, but he wouldn't listen. He just said, let me get at him. And Ali's trainer, Angelo Dundee, said, well, that's working. Just keep doing it. So I guess all we can say at this point is we're trying to tell them, and they keep swatting that jab and getting their ass kicked. And Trump realizes, well, it's working. Just keep on swinging. So that's what we're up against. Something else we're up against is almost hitting 400,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And I appreciate you guys so much for coming along on the ride with me. And if you haven't already, we're about 7,000 away from hitting that landmark. I believe we can do it by the end of this week. So I truly appreciate you guys for tuning in. And I've had people reach out and say, Brando, thank you for making your videos. They help get me through the day. Well, I just want to say back to you, you guys help me get through the day. This is what I do. This is me sitting down and talking it out with you guys and trying to reason it out. And so all we can do is just keep moving forward and fighting the good fight. And unfortunately, we're going to have to fight against a whole lot of evil forces and a lot of imaginary ones. So it's going to be a long, hard ride, but we're just going to have to keep on going.